continues at 6. As always, Mike Fettig from the Fettig team. Okay, so this week we are talking about coworkers, and it's difficult to get along with them. And there's, there's usually at least one person in the office like that. It affects everybody. It really does.
It does. As most people haven't been in a work environment where there isn't somebody that is a little bit more difficult for certain people to be around or to work well with. And it does affect everybody, and some it can be a lot worse on. So there's other people that they end up getting the brunt of some of those behaviors, and so we want to talk about what should we do when those things are going on.
How do you fix, is there a way to fix it, or what do you do?
There can be ways to help mitigate the situation and to help work through it, but what we really recommend is to maintain a positive attitude and to start first by asking questions and to make sure that you're not accusatory, but to try to dig in and meet with the person and ask how they can maybe work well or work better together, but to be positive throughout it and to know that it affects your career and it affects you long term, that you can rise through it.
Yes, and don't go to your manager. You suggest going to the coworker first.
It depends on the specific situation, but in most cases, it's probably best that you try to work well with the person first. And these are the things that we were taught since we were kids: is to be able to work well with others, and it's an important thing. And there's the saying of playing well in the sandbox doesn't change. So can we go to that person and try to work through these problems? And if they become bigger problems, then maybe you do have to go to other people to involve them as well. And
sometimes it is a misunderstanding. Sometimes it really is you just don't know how to take that person or something like that, and it can be solved.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the flip side is it could just be really bad and it might not change. And then you have to evaluate it and say, what am I going to do knowing that this isn't changing? And I think I'm just going to be stuck with this for a long time. So how do I evaluate that at that point in time?
Yeah, and especially because so many of us are at work for so much of the day. We're with our coworkers as much as we are with our families.
Yes, we are. It's most people are working over 40 hours a week in many cases, and that's a lot of time to be spending. And if it's a difficult situation, that can wear on people. And so if you're in a tough one, we really recommend maintaining that positive attitude through that, but then also to try to leave that at work too. And not let it wear on others in your life.
Yeah, that's always great advice too. Okay, so mid-January now, jobs out there?
Yeah, there are. There's quite a few things. We actually are hiring, we're adding to our internal team too, so we got an opening or two there. But we have a customer, I think we're going to be having a couple job fairs here shortly, where one's in the Caledonia area, another one's in Kentwood. But you can get in touch with us through fettigteam.com or follow us on Facebook to get more details. But first and second shift jobs, lots of them available.
Okay, good. Nice to see you. Thanks, Mike.
Good to see you. Thanks.
See you next week, guys.
Thanks, guys. Well, police raids are anything but pleasant. SWAT teams with guns and heavy